Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Shah Sir Classes and Evershine Coaching Center. I am Shah Faisal Sir here. My dear friends, today I am going to discuss about the earth movements. Okay, so earth movements will take place in two ways, that is movements of the earth, and second is movements on the earth. Okay, so we are going to classify this movement into two types, that is movement of the earth and then movements on the earth. So these are the two different movements which takes place on the earth. In this session we are just discussing about the earth movements in detail. Okay, now as you can see here, first let me see movements of the earth. Now first we are going to study about movements of the earth. Movements of the earth. Now my dear friends, I just want to tell you one thing regarding movements of the earth. It is not given in your NCERT. There is no information has given about movements of the earth in NCERT textbook. So this information we have collected from G.C. Leong chapter 1 part 2. Leong chapter 1 part 2. So this information we have taken from this part. Okay, now as you can see, this information we have collected from G.C. Leong chapter 1 part 2. Okay, now let me study. So remember, earth does two types of movements. Okay, so earth does two types of movements, that is major movement and minor movement. So these are the two different types of movement which occurs, okay, in the earth. So here we are discussing about movements of the earth. So there are two types of movements are there that is major movements and minor movements. So which are the major movements are there? So let me study the major movements. Number 1, that is rotation. Second is a revolution, and the third one is also revolution. But one difference is there. I'll just like to explain this phenomena. So here we have different revolutions. First is revolution around the sun, and second is revolution around the galactic core. Okay, so these are the two different revolution which occurs. Let me to explain. For an example, as you can I hope you may have seen, this is our sun. Okay, and these are the different orbits which are there around the sun. Okay, so this is our sun. As you can see, this is the earth example. Let me consider this is the earth. Earth is revolving around the sun. Will you agree? And even we have so many other celestial bodies, even those are also revolving around the sun. Will you agree? Let me say here we have a moon. So this moon is revolving around the earth. I just explain you once again. Earth is revolving around the sun. Moon is revolving around the earth. Correct? Moon is revolving around the earth. Now can you tell me, is moon is revolving around the sun? Is the moon is revolving around the sun? Yes, of course, when moon is revolving around the sun, then definitely moon is also revolving around the sun, and even other celestial bodies and planets also are revolving around the sun. Now my question is sun is revolving around any other object? Is sun is revolving around some other body? Yes, sun is also revolving around some other body. What is that? As you can see, so this is our sun. Sun, when it is revolving, as you can see, when sun is revolving, here what happens? So this is our sun. Okay, when the sun is revolving, you can see there is a galactic core. This is called as galactic core. So the sun is revolving around this galactic core. Okay, so sun is revolving around the galactic core, and it is also called as core of galaxy. Sun also goes around core of galaxy, and along with the sun the entire solar system also travels around this galactic core. You should never forget this. ठीक है, सन भी गैलेक्टिक कोर के अराउंड में रिवॉल्व हो रहा है. जैसा अर्थ और दूसरे प्लैनेट जिस तरह से सन का चक्कर लगा रहे हैं, इसी तरह सन भी इस गैलेक्टिक कोर का चक्कर लगाएगा. Any doubts? So here one is rotation, second is revolution around the sun, and third is revolution around the galactic core. So these are the different major movements, okay, of the earth. These are the different major movements of the earth, but here we are going to study about rotation and revolution still more in detail in the chapter. I mean, when we cover the atmosphere and climate class. In that classes we are going to discuss about this, some extra information regarding this major movements. Now let me see the minor movements. So which are the minor movements we have? Exam. This minor movement is being identified by Milankovitch. Okay, Milankovitch. So you should not forget this. So this minor movement is been identified by Milankovitch, and here we have different minor movements. Number 1, eccentricity. Number 2, obliquity, and number 3 is precision. So my dear friends, I just want to tell you that try to remember these minor movements, as this is very important. They may ask you to write a short note on minor movement, or they may ask you to explain about this concept about eccentricity, obliquity and precision. Now let me study what exactly it means. Okay, what does the mean of eccentricity, obliquity and precision, and how it is helpful. That we are going to study now. Okay, I hope you may have seen its pin top, or we also call that as lattu. Do you remember? We have a lattu, right? Lattu or spin top, you may have seen. Once if you see, it starts rotating like this, correct? It starts rotating. Okay, जब आप लट्ठू को फिराएंगे या स्पिन टॉप, ओके, तो बच्चे खेल रहे होंगे, आप देखे होंगे कि वो एक पुशअप बटन रहता है, उसको दबाने से क्या होता है, वो लट्ठू घूमते रहता है अर्थ के ऊपर. ओके, when you have observed, you might have noticed some movements are there, right? Some you can see in this direction there will be some small tilt will be happening, correct? कुछ घूमते रहता है. जब वो घूमते रहता है तो आप देख सकते हैं कुछ पार्ट नीचे जाता है और कुछ पार्ट ऊपर आता है, कुछ पार्ट ऊपर आता है तो कुछ पार्ट नीचे आता है, कुछ with some angle, but not much angle, with some degree of angle. You can see it will be tilting towards the left as well the right, and also it will goes down and it will comes up. So you can see here these are the different movements which are there in this lattu. Same thing which it is happening with this phenomena in the earth also. The same thing is happening when the earth goes around the sun in the orbit. Earth is moving around the sun in the orbit. Why? How it is moving? Because of what? Earth is moving around the sun. So this is my sun and this is my earth. As you can see, the earth is moving around the sun. Will you agree with this? Yes, this is my sun, and let me say let me to draw the shape like this. Okay, so this is my earth. Okay, now you can see this is my sun and this is the earth. Earth is revolving around it. The sun is earth is revolving around the sun because of gravity. Because of gravity, it is not moving to some other orbit, correct? Earth is revolving in the same orbit because of what? Because of gravity. Now here my question is when the earth is revolving around the sun, when the earth is revolving around the sun, it is not jumping towards some other orbit. Why? Why it is moving in the same orbit? Why it is not moving in some other orbit? Okay, and what makes the earth to move in the same orbit? Can you tell me? What makes the earth to move in the same orbit, or why the earth is not moving in some other orbit? The first reason is gravity, and also something happens here. What it happens, let me see. Now suppose in my other orbits, example, you can see we have Mars, we have Jupiter, we have different planets. When earth is moving, you can see due to the gravity there is a pull. Even this Mars or Jupiter, what it is doing? It is trying to pull the earth from the orbit. But here what is happening? The sun is also pulling the earth towards the sun. Sun is also pulling the earth. In the other side, even other planets is also pulling the earth. So in the both the cases, you can see there is a gravity. There is a pull from both the ends, due to which the the earth is revolving in the same orbit. Okay, so there is a gravity on the earth from both the ends, due to which earth is revolving in the same orbit. This phenomenon we call it as eccentricity. Any doubts? So there is a pull on the earth. Okay, there is a pull on the earth from both the ends. Due to this gravity, the earth is revolving in the same orbit. So this phenomena we call it as eccentricity. And even as you can see, when earth is revolving around this orbit, okay, now what happens? You may have seen the axis. Example, this is my axis. Okay, so when the earth is moving on the axis, you can see there is small tilt will be there. There is one small tilt will be there, which makes the angle of 22.1 degree to 24.5 degree. Okay, when the axis goes down and comes up, okay, it does a shift of 22.1 degree to 24.5 degree, but actual there is a tilt of 23.5 degree. Okay, when axis is moving from down to earth, जब axis जो रहेगा, जो नीचे से ऊपर जाने के टाइम पे, तो क्या होता है? कुछ एंगल में चेंजेस होते हैं. कितना शिफ्ट होता है? 22.1 degree to 24.5 degree. So this we call it as obliquity. This phenomena we call it as obliquity. Any doubts? Did you understood? When the axis goes down and comes up, we can see some shift in the angle. We can see some shift of 22.1 degree to 24.5 degree. This shift in the angle, this changes in the angle, we call it as obliquity. And the third case, as you can see, when this lattu, when it is moving, it remains fixed in this position. In this position, it remains fixed. I mean, in the bottom, you can see it remains fixed. Okay, it remains fixed, let me say vertically. Okay, only you can see there is a movement in the top. But bottom, you can see this bottom edge, this part remains fixed. Only top moves, but not the bottom. This we call it as precision. So I hope you have understood. Here the earth does three types of movements. One is eccentricity, the second is obliquity, and the third is precision. Okay, because of these three phenomena, we can see there is a long-term climate change. Okay, what is the result of these three phenomena? Because of these three phenomena, we can see there is a long-term climate change will takes place. And also you can see when the earth is rotating around the sun, okay, let me say this is my sun and this is my orbit. Okay, as you can see in this orbit, the distance from here to here will be more compared to in this direction. Okay, you can see even the earth distance, you can see the earth distance from the sun varies at the equators, varies at the equators when it is moving along x-axis and when it is moving along y-axis. You can see there is a difference in the distance. So here the first point is there is a long term climate change because of eccentricity, obliquity and precession, and also we can see there is a difference in the heat. Even there is a difference in the heat. As you can see, the distance between the sun changes, even the heat also will changes. Okay, any doubts? When this region towards the sun, we can see there is hot condition. When it is moves at north and south pole, when it moves at north and south pole, okay, we can see there will be a cold condition. When this region, I mean when east and west towards the sun, we can see there is a hot condition on the earth, and when it moves at north and south pole, we can see there is a cold condition. Okay, अब इधर पे हम देख सकते हैं क्लाइमेट चेंज इसी की वजह से हो रहा है और इवन टेम्परेचर चेंज भी इसी की वजह से हो रहा है. So these are the different things what we have get to know because of the movement of the earth. So you should not forget, my dear friends, about the minor movements. Can you tell me which are the major movements? The major movements are rotation, second is revolution around the sun, and revolution around the galactic core. So the minor movements are eccentricity, obliquity and precession. Next we are going to study about the movements on the earth. Okay, now we are going to study the movement on the earth. Now one small question arises. If you want to study these movements on the earth, then it is very important for you people to understand first about the interior of the earth. Until and unless you doesn't know the interior of the earth, you cannot get to know about the movements on the earth. If you want to know what are the movements that are going to happen on the earth, first you should know the interior of the earth. So just let me have a small draft regarding the interior of the earth. Now can you tell me how can you get to know about the interior of the earth? किस तरह से आप जान सकते हैं कि अर्थ का इंटीरियर क्या है या कैसा है? How can you get to know? Okay, most of them may say, sir, due to volcanic eruptions. From volcanic eruptions we will get to know the interior of the earth. Or you can say even sometimes deep experimental mining. From deep experimental mining also we will get to know about the interior of the earth. There is a recent issue which was there regarding this deep experimental mining. What do you mean by deep experimental mining? Deep experimental mining is nothing but we are digging the earth only to collect some information. Okay, you can see recently in Peninsular India, in Maharashtra, they have digged around 5 kilometers. Okay, just to understand what are the minerals are present in the earth. Okay, but this plan was not successful because this is not sufficient to understand. Okay, so that is different story. But here this is what we call as deep experimental mining. Only for the experimental purpose we do the mining. So that is called as deep experimental mining. And third, most of them may say, sir, from the earthquake also we'll get to know about the interior of the earth. And also sometimes some people may say, sir, from meteors also we'll get to know about the interior of the earth. Meteor is nothing but the DNA of the other brother. I mean the DNA of the other objects will get to know. Like example, if you want to know about the earth, there is one recent study which was there. They started studying about the Jupiter. Okay, so how this Jupiter has formed. Okay, from this process even they will also ensure that earth also may have been formed from this only, like from this type only. So that is what we called as meteors. From other similar particles we will get the information. Okay, that is what meteors. And next, most of them may say, sir, because of temperature or pressure or density also we'll get to know about the interior of the earth. Or sometimes some may say, sir, from the magnetic field also we'll get to know about the interior of the earth. Or most of them may say, sir, from the gravitational force or gravity. Okay, from the gravitational force also we'll get to know about the interior of the earth. So there are so many theories, but here I like to tell you one thing. Okay, we are going to study this interior of the earth in two types. In two ways we can study the interior of the earth. Which are those methods from which we can understand the interior of the earth? That is, number one, direct method, and then number two, indirect method. So these are the different methods are there to understand about the interior of the earth. Now, what is direct method? In direct method, let me say, number one, volcanic eruption. So this is the direct method. From volcanic eruptions we can easily understand about the interior of the earth, and also through mining also we'll get to know the interior of the earth. How much you can say is these methods are sufficient to understand the interior of the earth? As you can see, for an example, as you goes down, okay, the temperature rises. As you goes down, we can say that the temperature rises. As temperature rises, we can see different minerals are found. But now, suppose this is my earth layer. When volcanic eruptions takes place, how far volcanic eruptions will take place? Maybe somewhat from this region, from this layer the volcanic eruptions may takes place. But where exactly the innermost layer is present of the earth? Let me say in this region. But volcanic eruptions are taking place in this region. How far can you dig the earth? Either we can dig the earth till here, or we can dig the earth till here. That's it. We can dig the earth only till so far. Okay, हम यहाँ तक डिग कर सकते हैं. या वॉल्केनिक eruptions बस इतने ही आ रहे हैं, इधर से वॉल्केनिक eruptions हो रहे हैं. तो हमारा अर्थ का इंटीरियर ऑफ द अर्थ वेयर इट इज इन दिस पोजिशन. तो डायरेक्ट मेथड्स आर नॉट सो सूटेबल टू अंडरस्टैंड द इंटीरियर ऑफ द अर्थ. ओके, अर्थ का इंटीरियर जानना हो तो डायरेक्ट मेथड्स तो इतना फेमिलियर नहीं है. क्यों बोले तो बस कुछ सेंटीमीटर तक ही वॉल्केनिक एरप्शंस बाहर हो रहे हैं, या हम अर्थ को डिग कर सकते हैं. इतना ज्यादा थोड़ी हम डिग कर सकते हैं. नो, नॉट एट ऑल. We cannot dig the earth so far distance. As you can see, the radius of the earth, easily we can get to know, from the radius of the earth, easily we can get to know the center of the earth. From the radius of the earth, easily we can predict where is the center. Okay, how many kilometers far the center is present from the earth, easily we will get to know where is the center of the earth. But volcanic eruptions and mining is not so much suitable to understand the interior of the earth. But somewhat we can use this technique to understand the interior of the earth, but not too much. Okay, तो ये आपको याद रखना है. सो डायरेक्ट मेथड से हम कुछ हद तक, कुछ लिमिट तक हम अर्थ के इंटीरियर को फाइंड कर सकते हैं, बट नॉट कंप्लीट इन डिटेल. सो व्हाट वी डू, वी आर फॉलोइंग इनडायरेक्ट मेथड्स टू अंडरस्टैंड still more clearly about the interior of the earth. That is, from your meteors, from the related some other particles which are present, we collect the information from them, and we can just match that information with the neighboring particles. Okay, so from the meteors we can get to know, and also through the space missions, and also from the space missions we can understand the interior of the earth. And also from temperature, as you can see, as you goes down the temperature rises. how much there is a rise? There is a rise of 1 degree Celsius per 32 meters. Per 32 meters, we can see there is a rise of 1 degree Celsius. As you goes down, let me say around 200 meters, okay, you can imagine how much degree Celsius there is a rise in the temperature. Okay, because 32 meters, we are just saying here per 32 meter there is a 1 degree Celsius. As you go 64, 128, 256, 625, so these all meters, if you go further, you can imagine how much degree Celsius there is a temperature. From here we can say that the temperature is not constant. From this phenomena we can get to know that the temperature is not constant. As you goes down, the temperature rises. And also from density and pressure, we can easily we can get to know about the interior of the earth. As you can see, so what is the density in the continents? That is 2.7 gram per centimeter cube. So this is the density in the continents. And what about oceans? Okay, so what do you mean by ocean? I mean, what is the density of the ocean? That is 3 gram per centimeter cube. The density of the continents are 2.7 gram per centimeter cube, and the density of the oceans are 3 gram per centimeter cube. But my dear friends, this information they have given wrong in your NCERT. They have given just opposite to this, but actually the correct one is continents have 2.7 gram per centimeter cube and oceans density is 3 gram per centimeter cube. Okay, and even you can say that at the core of the earth it is 13.5 gram per centimeter cube. So this is the density. Okay, now here we can conclude that from this indirect methods, let me say one more, we have one more indirect method. We have just studied 2, right? Now let me study still more. Number 3, that is magnetic field. From the magnetic field and gravitational force. So this also gives us about the interior of the earth. These two, magnetic field and gravitational force, also will gives us the information about the interior of the earth. So from the magnetic field we can get to know about the magnetic materials, or you can say even ferromagnetic materials. Okay, so which are the magnetic materials are present, we will get to know from the magnetic field. And also from the gravitational force we will get to know about gravitational force or let me say gravitational waves or gravitational energy. Okay, we will get to know that which are the places, in different places, which are the materials are present. Okay, or which are the elements or compounds are present, because as you can see at different places different particles are present. From this gravitational force or gravitational waves or energy, we will get to know about the materials. Okay, and the fourth one is earthquake waves. From earthquake waves also will gives us the information about the interior of the earth. As you can see, the indirect methods are meteor or space mission, temperature, density, pressure, magnetic field and gravitational waves, and also earthquake waves will gives us the information about the interior of the earth. And my dear friends, about the earthquake waves we will be studying in the next session in detail about the earthquake waves, how earthquake waves are helpful to find the interior of the earth. It is very interesting concept. And now what is the conclusion? Okay, so this information, the conclusion of this is nothing but this information gives us, okay, we can predict which are the elements are present at the core. Okay, this information will gives us which are the elements are present at the core. As the temperature, density and pressure rises, okay, as the temperature, pressure and density rises, easily we can predict from these indirect sources in different places, in different locations and different stages of the earth, which are the elements or compounds are present. From this phenomena only we have got to know that the innermost layer of the earth consists of iron and nickel. Okay, the core of the earth consists of iron and nickel. This theory was given us, okay, the information to identify which are the elements are present in the core of the earth. Okay, so I hope you have understood this concepts, right? And my dear friends, still if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel Shah Sir Classes, kindly do subscribe it. And if you have liked this session, do not forget to click the like button. Share this video as much as possible with your friends, and do not forget to comment how was this class and what video you want to make me next. And in my next session we are going to study about the earthquake waves, okay, in detail. I hope this information is enough for your competitive exam preparation. In this class, just let me have a glance what are the things we have studied. We have studied about the movements of the earth and movements on the earth. Okay, so there is a movements of the earth and movements on the earth. So what are the movements are there on the of the earth? That is major movements and minor movements. We have studied about that. And minor movements also we have studied. Major movements were rotation, revolution around the sun, revolution around the galactic core, and minor movements was eccentricity, obliquity and precession. So these are the different things we have studied about the movements of the earth. Now before we study movements on the earth, in this class we have studied first about the interior of the earth. In the next part of the session, we will be discussing about the earthquake waves, and then we will be studying the movements on the earth. I hope this is very much important information I have given to you all. Thank you. Take care. Wish you all the best of luck. Bye bye.